Everybody wants to get rich overnight.
Yeah, you used to go to the colors parties back in the day. Yeah. So that, you know, that was the inkling of like what was being built, and you know, and the crowd went crazy, and they said, yeah, we come, Jabari. And so like in a few weeks, I just booked a 100-person venue, and I said, I called it R&B Only tonight. Like, and I gave people a 1-day warning. I just said like, tonight we're doing R&B Only, this place. And it filled up. And then I was like, all right, cool. Maybe I should do another one. Yeah. And then I just did it again. And then like I booked a bigger venue. And then soon the venues for R&B Only were at the same size of the venue for my Colors events.
Hey, I'm Rocky Jean.
And this is Ray Daniels, AKA the Culture Referee. And welcome to the GAUDS Show. Yeah. It's early, so us clapping like that I appreciate it so much. It's like the first room in class. You know that first classroom, you be in there like, hey bro, don't do too much, man. We just woke up, right? So listen, so Rocky, we have a special guest. This is a brother who I fuck with him because he ran up on me at InvestFest, and he was like, yo, I fuck with you, I do this. And he was like, yo, I want to do your show. And I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. He was like, no, come to my show first. That's how I move. Like, don't just think I'm important because I said I'm important. Come see how significant what I'm doing is. Yeah. So on a Sunday night, when I was tired that whole weekend, and everybody here know Jabari, the weekends leave me the fuck alone. I was outside at R&B Only. So let's make some noise for. This guy took R&B from small rooms to sold out arenas. 700,000 tickets sold, turned down $1 million just to bet on himself. Stepping in as the DJ Khaled of R&B. Jabari Johnson, the mastermind behind the brand R&B Only.
Appreciate it.
By the way, for this interview, I'm gonna refer to him as, we talked a lot about his name off camera. I'm gonna call him Jabari the Mastermind. Because when I went into your event, I was mad, but in a good way. Because I keep telling everybody, the key to winning in the future is gamify everything. Gamify music. You gotta gamify movies. Like you gotta gamify. You gotta make it so we're paying attention, right? And we're gonna give you an answer. So when I walked in, they was like, we're about to do this, so what would you do? And I was like, it was kind of happy. It was a happy confirmation because I was like, Ray, you had this idea for 5 years. You've been telling everybody. So for me, it's like, what made you decide to do R&B? And I could tell you're intentional. You could have put R&B celebration. You could have put R&B music. You put R&B only.
Yeah.
What's the concept behind this whole thing you created?
Yeah, so honestly, the name, I wish I had a lot of other things I'm very intentional about.
Yes.
I'm a student. I'm someone who reads a ton of books, and
I love it.
But I can't big myself up and say I like had some mastermind thing for the name. Literally, I was doing a hip hop event and a hip hop party before I turned R&B Only into a show. I was doing a hip hop party, and at the end of the parties, we played R&B music. And at the end of the parties, when we were playing R&B music, I started noticing that like a lot of the women would come for the R&B music specifically.
Yes, absolutely.
And I started noticing like...
And what city is this? I'm sorry.
DC. I went to school at Howard. So we started in DC.
I already say. Yeah.
And I'm originally from New York, and I grew up between New York and Columbus, Ohio.
Got you.
So I was doing it in New York, where I had a lot of friends and family. And then I was, after post Howard, I worked at Capitol Records for a few years. I was the youngest person at Capitol doing like digital marketing.
Yeah.
And so because I was at Capitol in New York office, they would fly me to LA a lot, and I started to have a network there. So I was only doing these hip hop parties in those three cities, DC, New York, and LA. And
what were the parties called?
It was just called Colors. Like,
okay.
Literally just like, and before that, I was doing another party with my buddy. Shout out my man, Kev Story. I was doing a party called... That's who I was
working
doing.
at Epic with me.
Yeah.
That's my bro. Yeah.
So that's who I started doing events with.
Okay.
And we were doing a party called Surprise Party, and then we kind of broke off, and I started doing an event called Colors, and then it was just hip hop. And at the end of these things, I was playing R&B music, and I was like, man, like we got to slow this energy down, because this is the era of like ASAP Ferg,
yeah,
Gucci down to the socks, and it was like, people were leaving the event sweaty, you know,
Turned
no
up.
fights, but like some busted lips because we were turning up. This was like, you know, and you know, I would take my shirt off at every event and just be in the crowd. Like it was crazy. And I was like, you know, let's calm this down a little bit. Let's change it up and play R&B at the end. And I would always host the events. So I'm not like a traditional DJ. I'm not like a music producer. I'm just a fan of music. You know what I mean? Like, so that's how
it's pouring out of you. I love that. You can feel it. Like you can tell this dude loves it. I love that, bro.
So, you know, one day I'm hosting the event and some of the DJs would hate when I do this, but I would like get on their controller and I turn the fader down myself, and I turned the fader down and I said, if I did an R&B only event, would y'all come? Like, would y'all, you know, because this is like when the R&B is ringing off at 1:30 a.m. in the morning. This is so we are at our 10-year anniversary in 2025. This is in about this has got to be 2013, 2014. When I'm doing the hip hop parties.
That's amazing that 10 years of building. People we don't talk enough about that. Everybody wants to get rich overnight.
Yeah, you used to go to the colors parties back in the day. Yeah. So that, you know, that was the inkling of like what was being built. And you know, and the crowd went crazy and they said, yeah, we come, Jabari. And so like in a few weeks, I just booked a 100-person venue and I said, I called it R&B Only tonight. Like, and I gave people a 1-day warning. I just said like, tonight we're doing R&B Only, this place. And it filled up. And then I was like, all right, cool. Maybe I should do another one.
Yeah.
And then I just did it again. And then like I booked a bigger venue. And then soon the venues for R&B Only were at the same size of the venue for my colors events, the hip hop stuff. And I was like, all right, something might have to give.
I'm gonna say, are you like, because this is when you're in your own little bubble where you're like, am I gonna have to switch?
Yeah, exactly.
To that? Is that the money maker? Yes.
I was like, this is what's not necessarily defining me.
Yes.
But you know, I was stuffing $5,000 into a backpack after every show. You know what I mean? After every of the hip hop ones, and I didn't. And this wasn't even like my main thing. I was between this. I was like kind of in and out of. I think I was transitioning from working at Capitol Records, and I was a content creator. So I was really early on interviewing people.
Got you.
And I interviewed like Nicki Minaj early, Justin Bieber, Wiz Khalifa, did a documentary on Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. Yeah. And I was trying to be like the next Terrence J from 106. You know what I mean? Like I was trying to be like an AJ Calloway, but I came in the game at a time when the way people were consuming media was completely changing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Speak on that a little bit. Like how was then compared to now?
Well, first YouTube had come out, and YouTube took a while to become the YouTube that we all know it is today, right? Yeah. So I was doing stuff like putting long form content on YouTube, but like it was like YouTube said, okay, now videos can be up to an hour. And I was like, oh shit, they could be up to an hour? I'm gonna put an hour, long thing up there. Or I'm gonna put like a 30-minute documentary up there. Or I'm gonna put whatever up there. And just because you could do it, but like people were still watching YouTube for like 2-minute videos. And
their attention span was going down as they were expanding, and it left everybody confused.
Exactly.
Like, exactly. What to do.
So at this point, and then linear TV was shifting. So it was like, my dream when I graduated Howard was, like I said, to be on 106 in Park.
Yep.
And I was in the audition process and I was getting really far. And I remember, they were telling me, the executives at BET were like, you might be the one, you know what I mean? But what ended up happening was they gave it to Bow Wow because he had a lot more fame than me.
Yep.
And, it could have been other reasons, but that's just what I thought the reason was. Right? So I'm like, this guy. I'll say on my
know that's what it is.
I say it.
I know that's what it
Celebrities
is,
ruin everything.
Now,
like it'd be as soon as it's something for a regular person and the regular people like it, and now it's like I think I could be the. I'm not Terrence. I'm not AJ. I could be that. And then here come a celebrity. Boom.
Got it.
And then there goes the show.
Yep. And exactly. Yeah, he was the last host. I think. And so, but I always knew that the internet and this like where people are going is digital. Like I thought in my head, like, I don't know if we're going to be watching TV in the same way that we are, because I'm looking at myself as like a
consumer,
recent graduate,
yeah.
as a consumer. I'm just like, yo, I'm not sitting here like, I'm not rushing to see what's on, what top 10 videos are coming on.
Yeah,
I'm
at a
watching my
certain
videos.
time.
Yeah, at a certain time. I'm watching my videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
And digital allowed you to watch it whenever you wanted
Whenever
to. So
you
now
wanted to.
you're on your own schedule.
exactly. So I just thought that type of viewing was going to come in all other forms of media. But to be honest, I feel like I was just a little too early. And so, you know, where I
Isn't
was
that
putting my
frustrating
stuff
when you're
out,
early?
Yeah, it was early, man. And you can go, you know, if you want to just go YouTube like Jabari Nicki Minaj or Jabari Justin Bieber.
Oh, wow.
And you'll see like videos with millions of views
Yeah.
with me and these folks. But I was a baby when I was putting this stuff on YouTube, man. I was in my early 20s.
You know, if you
And-
remaster it, like re-put it out, it'll probably have a whole different traction now.
It's true, yeah. Maybe I
No,
just might.
seriously.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you something. I've been in the music business 20 years. You don't come off. Everybody has a personality. I wish people at home knew this. Like A&Rs move like A&Rs.
yeah. For sure.
Promo guys
You know who
are
they are.
promo guys. I'm gonna shout out to
yeah.
Benny Pugh really quick. Benny Pugh called me, and I had two promo guys one Benny Pugh and a guy I interned for. They both called me around the same time, and I was busy, and I had to call them both back. On God, I called them both back. And you know, Benny Pugh was my OG. Paris Johnson was I interned under him. Like, I'm gonna always be respectful to whoever was in front of me. So I said to both of them the same thing. I said, hey man, my apology for taking so long. They both stopped me and said, hey, nigga, I'm a promo guy. I'm gonna get you on the phone. That's what we do. So when I say that, I'm saying how to say that. Promo guys come off promo guys. You know, digital guys are digital guys. Promoters are promoters. You don't give me promoter vibes. You get, because let me tell you why I say that respectfully. You're friendly.
Oh,
and most
you, man.
promoters, it gotta have a dryness, a seriousness, because as much as you're paying me to have fun, nigga, this money you're paying me is my motherfucking business. So, so I'm asking you, like, what do you see yourself as? Like, what's your superpower within the promo sphere, and how did you? I mean, dog, there's millions of promoters in the country throwing stuff.
Yeah.
How are you able to scale? Because to me, that is your superpower. I don't know what it is. That's why I'm asking curiously. How are you able to scale, unlike most people who do the same thing?
Well, I would definitely being a promoting is an element, an aspect of what I do in the business, but I never would ever consider myself a promoter for sure. And what I would consider myself is a creator, entrepreneur, artist. You know, like there are all these elements of things that I do because I'm a creative individual and I'm a creative entrepreneur. So while a lot of promoters like they know how to turn one into two, right? They're like, okay, I feel like people in the event space and, you know, nightlife, if you want to call it, they're like hitting licks. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like,
that's what I'm saying. You come up like you just happy that it's 5,000 people in the room to sing a song with you. Like, that's what matters to you more than anything.
No doubt about it, man. And I think my whole approach and model is very, very different, right? So like when we do shows, right? And this has been from day one how I built the business. I'm not being paid to have my event so like a promoter is like, okay, I'll pay you this if you can bring this many people in.
Yeah.
That's never been the model. My model has always been like, I pay the venue. I pay the venue to rent the space. I rent it out completely. I assume all of the risk.
Yep.
And then I take the lion's share of the profit when there is. But I also, you know, because I'm assuming the risk, if the event doesn't do well, I also have, you know, really lost a lot of money on a lot of events because I've taken the risk. But because the company, like we put up the capital to rent the spaces and the rooms, I think that, and it's not even just that, it's like we also control the ticketing, the data. We've built like all types of flows and automations. We have like an incredible tech stack. Like I have people on my staff that are solely like they're data analysts or automation experts, or, you know what I mean? Like I just, the things that I apply in business to the like live event and touring world are things that like, that are heavily tech focused.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that like that's That's how I've been able to scale.
To scale. It
Yeah.
goes back to what you said earlier when you said you were in the digital era. So while everybody else was flyer to flyer, you were the guy gathering data when it wasn't cool to gather data.
Yeah, definitely. And so that's like an element of the scalability. But I think the other part is I've invested a lot in infrastructure too. So infrastructure in terms of like human capital, you know, there's about 10 full-time employees at the company, and then we have 60 contractors, 60 plus, that work on solely shows and travel around North America only working on shows. But when I say infrastructure, I mean like, you know, the payroll systems that make sure everybody, like all the contractors are paid at this time and all the full-time people are paid. You know, everyone who's full-time has a 401k.
Yeah.
You know, like there's that type of, everyone has incredible health benefits.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
You're hiring?
No, not right now. We on the brink of a recession, so you know, everybody.
When he said, it's two things he said. When he said automation, automation is the key word for some of you niggas won't be here too long. Once I figure out how to press a button and do it, so you better. It's definitely a different time.
So there's that human capital infrastructure, but then there's also the other infrastructure of, you know, we own all of our LED screens. You know, like when you see all of the LED walls, it's like
you pack them down, put them in the truck, and take them to city.
Yeah, I own the trucks that we put them in, and that, you know, I have a fleet of 3 trucks that travel all across North America. I have a warehouse in Tennessee. I have an employee that runs that warehouse.
That's so smart. So you don't have to rent the different venues and try to find that in different states.
Do you ever have to? Do you ever get people renting your equipment?
No, we do. We're doing 100 R&B Only shows this year. They're in use too much for us to even rent it out. That could be a business.
That's a blessing.
But yeah, and then you know, even from acquiring those things, like I go to China and I have direct relationships with the manufacturers of LED screens and stuff like that.
Wow.
Tell me a little bit about your childhood, how you was raised.
I was raised so my parents split up when I was in the womb.
Okay.
So I was raised by my mom and dad. So my mom, they're both from the Bronx. Just, you know, love music. That's the number one thing. It's like,
what part of the Bronx?
So they're from, I know they always say Fordham Road is really big.
Fordham Avenue, yeah.
But but they were like off Fordham Road.
Okay.
And yeah, so like they grew up in a time just like of good music. They were both born in the 60s.
But what did you hear in the house? I'm asking you that because you think differently, right? So like, here's what I want everybody at home to know. When you listen to these interviews, sometimes you're listening for the sexiness of it all, but like the money, he made millions of dollars. Like, if you're listening for that, you're never gonna be successful. You have to listen to the details. Yeah. So when I'm listening to you talk, the one thing I'm noticing is that you have completely dived in first. Like, it's almost like you've immersed yourself in this world, and because you're so immersed in it, you know you're smart enough to figure out the right routes for every way. I was asking about your parents, right? For like, it takes balls somebody to get on a plane to go to China to talk to somebody and come back with nothing. Like, there had to be something that was told to you. That's why I was really asking. Like,
so I'll give you the answer to that. So it's my mother. My mother, I told my mother that I wanted to get into music when I was like 14 years old. I started managing artists that went to my high school who were really talented. But my dad, I grew up listening to Hot 97. Because I was going back and forth all the time, I would like listen to the radio. I would tape, like even early when I was a little kid. I think it was like Stretch and Bobbito. I used to like record their mixes, you know what I mean? And then I used to record Funk Flex. I used to record all this, like K-Slay. And, you know, my cousins were into music too. So like my cousin was an A&R at Dame Grease's label, Vacant Lot.
Yeah, Vacant Lot, yeah.
And, you know, all
live from Harlem.
Yeah. Live on Lennox.
Live on Lennox, live on Lennox.
Shout out my cousin Gene Smooth. But, you know, so this was like my grandmother lived in AK projects on 128th and Lexington, uptown in Harlem. And I used to always be around there, and I used to just always be around music, and they would put me on to stuff, and then I would take it back, and then I would always my mom would be like, what are you listening to? And because she would be playing, you know, like Sade, Erykah Badu, she would be playing that, you know, that Aretha,
yes.
you know what I mean? Like she would just be, you know, that clean the house music on Saturday, Sunday, you know what I mean?
Gotta
and
play
so
the music.
I grew up with that, but then I had that New York influence of hip hop and lyricism, and I told my mom, I want to manage these artists, and I want to, you know, get into the music industry, and I want to do all this stuff at a very young age. And she never batted an eye at it. She always like supported it.
Yeah.
My mom was always like,
I love
yo,
that.
if this is what he wants to do, this is what he wants to do. And so I met a DJ who goes by the name of DJ Steph Floss in Columbus, and he was a student at Ohio State. And he said, hey, if you want to really like get into this game, I want you to like carry my crates, you know, like, and help me load up. This is, you know, this is before MP3s and all that stuff. So I would drive my 1990 Plymouth Acclaim to wherever he was at, and I would be in the clubs at like 15, 16 years old. And when artists would be on promo runs, like when Mike Jones would be on a promo run, when Joel Santana would be on a promo run, they would stop in Columbus, and I would be loading up the crates, and I would stay in the club. So I would stay in the club until like, so because if I'm getting to the club to set up at like 8 o'clock,
you can't leave and come back.
Yeah,
You're a
you
kid.
can't leave. Exactly, right? So when I stayed in, this was like, I was living like a movie, man. Like in high school, I would, and this is before, like I had a little brick Nokia, and I would be telling my friends like, yo, bro, like I was in the club with Mike Jones last night. I was in the club with Jewels, man. Like, and they would be like, you a damn lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is,
They
and
never
I would be like,
believe
no,
you.
I'm so serious. Like, and I would be, shout out to my mentor, Big Mark. He used to run a clothing store in Columbus. He's how I got tapped in with the city, because I'd burn our CDs, and I would be running around with Steph Floss, and I would be like trying to get our music on the radio, and I was doing all this stuff. But this is all social media, phones with pictures on them,
Can
and
I ask you,
stuff like this.
so social media kind of made it easier for you?
Oh, for sure. Because
Yeah.
I was coming from high school, and so then when Facebook was out and social media was out, and I got to Howard, and I started doing interviews with artists, like I was already like, well, I already got a network. I already know, like, you know, rest in peace, Chubby Baby from Dipset and Epic, and you know, like Chubby's known me since I was 16 years old, because he was out, you know, in the
Ohio,
streets in Ohio, and I was under his wing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So yeah, I've really been in this thing for a very long time.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like when I tell people a lot of times, like I've been working in this since I was a kid, and they think that I was like some kid actor or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, nah. I've actually been working in it since 14, 15, and you know, like, yeah. And to answer your question about the social media, when social media came, I was already like, well, I'm already pretty good with people.
Yeah.
So now this is just connecting me to people way easier.
Yeah.
And what I used to do is, when I started interviewing artists, I would reach out to them on MySpace. I would say, hey, if you ever stop in DC, I'd love to do an interview with you. And one of my biggest ones that I landed like this was Nicki Minaj. And she came she was on some promo run or something like that, came down to do an interview, and I would take the interview and I printed out every single Facebook friend that I had. I had about 2,000 Facebook friends, but Facebook only lets you send a message to 25 people at a time.
Man.
So I went to Founders, the library at Howard, and I printed out like all 2,000 friends, so I could just flip the pages like this, so I wouldn't have to have multiple tabs open.
Yeah.
And I would flip the pages, and I would type every 25 people, send, here's my interview with Nicki Minaj. She's a dope artist I think you should find out about. And I would send that.
Cross it out, then go to the next
exactly.
one.
2,000 people every time. And so what happened was, I would make the interviews go viral on campus.
Yeah.
But then when they went viral on campus, people would go back home
And tell
to
people.
wherever they were from, and they would tell people. And, you know, that was a huge part of the reason how, you know, Nicki Minaj got that early, like, start.
Yeah.
And, and
Do you feel
so
like,
I always credit and thank her for a
By
lot
the
of
way,
my career.
it's something about Nicki Minaj. Everybody sits on that seat, and ain't no one person. Everybody praises her. Like, love her, bro.
She changed my life, man, because she didn't have to.
Does she notice? She probably even noticed.
I don't think that she. I mean,
She will
she's
now.
gonna remember. She's gonna. She remembers who I am. Obviously, I'm sure, but I don't think that she remembers or knows the type of impact that she had on what I was doing at that time.
By the way, we need more of that. The problem that's we're having in the music business is that artists are disconnecting themselves from their audience, right? Because they look at it like all I got to do is press a post and they'll see it, right? But stories like this, like dog, I think Nicki is the greatest female rapper of all time. But
Hands
the
down.
respect that I have for her from hearing people like, because people don't talk about that about her. Everybody, she's a bitch, she's this, and it's like, dog, if she is that way, she's that way because she knows what she's doing. And she feels like I'm not about to sit down and try to explain. You want me to be a bad person? I'll be a bad person. I know who I am and what I've done. And I just want to, I props for that. Like,
No, she has such a vision and has always been like that. I mean, this is, she's the legendary picture of her squatting down in the Jordan 6s and
the lollipop.
Yeah, and the lollipop.
With the white background.
She sent me like the photos from that shoot and was having me like ask her what photos that I liked the best and this type of stuff. You know what I mean?
So
and
she was doing research with her audience before.
Yeah, man. And she would come down to DC and I would get studios for her when she needed to record. I would help her get the music on these different like hip hop blogs that I was working with and stuff like that. And in exchange, she would give me access and like I would interview her. I would come up to New York and interview. She would come down with Safari and I would do an interview with her there. And she would take me like behind the scenes to like the different Young Money shows that she was at and all of that stuff that she, to the point where I just posted this up on my IG, but like she gave me a record, man. Like I was putting artists together and sort of doing this like DJ
like
Khaled
DJ,
thing. Yeah. And like I put her and Pusha T on a record. And she did, I mean, this is like free.
Yeah.
Even Pusha T charged me for the studio time that he needed to. He didn't charge me.
He made you pay it.
He made me pay for it, which is respectable,
Yeah, for sure.
But like the $800 or whatever that he needed to do be in the studio time for, I had to like I was selling bootleg jeans.
Yeah.
Like I was going and like
Wow.
hustling like that, and I was like, man, I got to get pushing this money for the studio time, and but they did that for me when I was a college kid. You know what I'm saying? I was just a kid at Howard that. They didn't have to do that.
I want to tell you something. People watching think that success is not for them. And it probably isn't because of how they think. Right? It's very important. So like it was something you said that I just appreciate so much because it sounds like me. And to me, when people talk like this, these are the people that win. You said, I was doing all this stuff for Nicki. And you said, she paid me back with access.
Yep.
You didn't say she paid me. You didn't say that. You said she paid me back with access. People don't value access. That's why we see all these people kind of turning against their boss and everything because they're so, but it's like the access is for you to make a decision. Yeah. That's what access is for. It's for you to come in here and say, you know what, guys, this is not for me. Or come in here and say, I like this. I want to do more. And there's so many people who want to get paid for their time, paid. And it's like, you're going to be for sale and for sale for your whole life. You have to find a way to get access because the people you have access to determines how far you go in life.
Yeah.
And if you got bad relationships, like even the fact you're talking about Nicki and she hasn't seen you, she might see this and be like, yo, Jabari, I want to pop at one of your events. Like, and it's because it's not because she's like, oh man, this guy is talking good about me. She's like, oh man, this guy really gets it. And he appreciation is lacking in our new society.
For sure.
Appreciation for access, appreciation for information. People feel like it's supposed to be given to them because sometimes it's given to them, but it doesn't have to be. And if you don't look at it through the lens of I'm thankful, if you can't be grateful, you're never gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be real hard.
If you can't be grateful, you will never be great because greatness is rooted in the opportunity. Like I can wake up and try to do this. That's what greatness is rooted in. And I could just tell, like you study greats. Like I'm listening to you talk, and it's refreshing because this world is so fucked up. And as a black man that has made it from nothing to something, I'm so hurt by the rhetoric that I see from our community. Like what they're telling us, right? Like, I deserve. You don't deserve shit.
Yeah,
you have to get up and earn it. And by the way, if you can get your lungs in shape to constantly earn, like, dog, I'm 20 years in the business. I'm still working like I don't know what to do tomorrow.
Yeah,
like I'm scared to death. Like you saw me coming here, I'm looking for y'all. Like I got an interview in 20 minutes. What the fuck is everybody? Because I'm like, because I'm thankful. I don't give a fuck how many views, how many anything. I'm thankful that somebody wants to sit in that seat and do this with me.
Yeah.
And that thankfulness comes out when I'm out and about and people see me. I'm like, thank you, bro. Like, I'm not a nigga that's like walking around. So I just had to pause and give you that. Because to me, I feel like sometimes we be listening and there's somebody listening like, man, if I could just get in the room with Nicki Minaj, man, I could get in the room with Cardi B or Lotto and my life going to change. And it's like, if you think them giving you anything more than access is the life-changing thing you need, you have lost.
Yeah.
Because now your battle is from what they should be giving you from what you're doing that they didn't ask you to do.
That part.
I didn't even ask you, bro. And now you trying to charge me for it. Like, goddamn. So there has, in the business world that you exist in, there has to be a time where you do your first couple parties. Okay, this can go big.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you got people, local money people like, hey, can I get you? I got some sponsorship. I got some money for you. Let me be a partner. You've been able to scale without no major sponsorship. And if I'm not mistaken, no major partner.
Oh, yeah. No, I own the company. Just
okay.
me.
So with that being said, how did you win in that scenario?
Yeah.
Well, and why didn't you take help? Like, what was your thought process?
Yeah. So I was really close to at one point. You know, when I had an investment opportunity. I mean, I have many investment opportunities now, but the one that I was really close to, I thought that it was really going to help scale the business, and I would only have to, give up about 20% equity. And this is years ago when the company wasn't as valuable as it is today. And ultimately, though, the thing that made me decide not to was the level of control. There was a stipulation in the agreement that said anything that any expenditure that was over $50,000,
How to get approval?
I had to get approval. I had to get board approval. And in taking this $1 million investment, I would have added 2 people to the board that, the board is just me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at that time, this is about like maybe 7 years ago. Yeah, about 6-7 years ago. To be honest, I'd never spent $50,000 myself. You know what I mean? Like but I knew that where I wanted to take the business, I had the vision enough to say, I may not be spending this kind of capital right now, but at some point, I don't want to be in a disagreement with somebody who doesn't really know, where the business is going, or they don't understand the audience,
culture.
They don't understand the culture, because these people were definitely not from the culture.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And
you couldn't put a time frame on it and then like renegotiate later?
no, I kind of tried to add some stuff like that, but no, they were pretty adamant about this particular point of the deal. And also, I mean, this is at a time where I was in debt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really needed some of the money to help service some of that debt. But I just couldn't get over that. And, I always think about that, and I look back and now, and I'm not, it's like, I have bills that are more than that. You know what I mean? Like that come in and that have to just get paid. And I just realized, man, like, wow, if I would have signed that deal, and every time I would have had to spend $50,000, it would have had to been some board meeting. That just would have been a terrible scenario.
Smart for you. But it's smart that you had the vision to see forward. Like, most people can't see past where they are financially. And they can't see past, like, I'm gonna need this I'm gonna need this, and they just can't see past it. So kudos to you. So what is the let me see what question. So
real quick, I wanted to ask you earlier. Yeah. You said you were a graphic designer at Capital?
No. I was working on social media at Capital.
Oh, social media at Capital.
Yeah.
So you had, creatively, you still had to use that in order to help them do what they were doing?
Well, are you saying
Like promoting?
when I was at Capitol Records?
Yeah. Like, do you feel like what you did there helped you?
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. What I did there, I always shout out what I learned at Capitol Records, because this was so I worked at EMI before EMI got split into
Yes.
Sony and
Yes.
Universal.
Yes.
Right? And so I worked under like the main priorities was the Capitol Records stuff, because it was under the banner at that time, and I learned over there. Like, this is where I was learning, not learning, but they literally thrust me into my first project that I worked on was marketing Priscilla Renee, who's ironically,
Money Long.
Money Long, yeah.
And I remember, working on marketing stuff for her. I remember, but it was like I was doing stuff like that, and then I was doing.
So you were learning what worked and what didn't with the artists that they were trying to market.
Yes, exactly.
And you applied it to your parties?
And then I wouldn't say I necessarily applied it to the events that I was having, but I learned how a big machine markets stuff, and how, like, because I was also working on Katy Perry records, and I was also working on Snoop Dogg stuff, and I was seeing, like, okay, I had this whole grand plan for this is what we should do with California girls, right? And like, this is how we should attack Facebook marketing, and then I saw like the bureaucracy of like how it is to post on Katy Perry's Facebook page. Like, you can't just like push a button. Like, it has to go through this copy approval, has to go through this product manager, and then sometimes if it's like a really big thing, like the actual artist manager has to approve it. You know what I mean? And it's all this. But I saw the importance of like stuff like that, copywriting. I saw the importance of like having an ad budget and an ad campaign and what that looks like. And then I saw the importance of just like, just budgeting overall, and like having receipts and paperwork and all of that. I just really learned how I used when my time there, working there, to learn how to run an entertainment business
successfully.
I just would do it. I just did it in a smaller capacity,
right.
But I took a lot of the professionalism from EMI and Capital.
That is something that is how I behave in Atlanta.
Yeah,
I was able to build my company where I have, because when you see it from the inside, it's the confirmation that you needed to know how it works,
yes,
right? Like,
that's it. Yep.
That's how it works.
Yep.
Let me ask you, promoters out here are struggling to get people to show up to the door.
Definitely.
Let alone buy a ticket and then show up to a door. What's your secret, or what is that Because selling tickets is not hard. Do you put it up?
Or do you mean it's not easy?
No, it's not easy. I'm sorry. Yeah, selling tickets is a very hard thing to do. I know it from doing 3 events, and they always sold, for 4 events, they always sold out. But I mean, it takes a lot of ads. It takes a lot of, like, people think, you just put up a flyer and everybody's like, I'm buying my tickets. That's probably 20% of the tickets. The other 80, you gotta work. So what's your strategy, and how are you able to win in that world compared to other people who aren't?
And do you feel like being a creative helps?
Yeah. I
would say it definitely does.
It definitely helps.
That's a superpower.
Yeah, for sure. But it's like, it's ever evolving, man. I wish I had like a silver bullet, and say like, because every year it seems like what we were doing last year, we have to tweak and we have to change. And
so we don't have to talk about this year, because that's still where you are. But give me a couple of years ago, something that you noticed and something that you had to change. Like,
okay. I would say this. I would say, and now everybody does this, but I would say when we started, one of the things that we started like everyone else. Like, here's a flyer. We put the information on it, and we put sort of like what you would be expecting. Hopefully you understand it in the name, RNB Only. But it wasn't until I started like filming the audience and not just filming like whatever was happening on stage and making it be about like whatever was happening or whomever was on stage. I tried to show people what the experience was like from a fan's perspective. Like, so I put a bunch of videographers in the crowd, and I said, you guys shoot
smart
what's happening in the crowd.
Smart.
And that is how I started to really like, create the ads, and, like I would have certain clips go viral and stuff like that. And I would say like that was, but like I said, now I mean, for those listening, if you're trying to get into this, like, it's still a strategy, but that's not going to be all you need to do. Like, because everybody's doing that now, and there's just so many other layers and levels of, you have to think, especially if your event is, let's even back up. Forget filming people in the audience, right? Think about, you're trying to get someone to leave their house, leave their phone, get a babysitter for their kids, get some other friends to come, and because nobody goes to events alone.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot of coordination to get people to commit to an event.
And they're gonna have to come out their pocket for something.
Exactly. You gotta, and then you gotta find parking.
Yeah,
then
and
you
that
gotta,
probably you gotta
or you gotta
too.
have or you gotta get an Uber if you want to drink.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different levels of commitment. So then for you to be starting your event, right, and starting a new brand and starting something, and have the audacity to charge for it, to me, is honestly insane.
Yeah, it is.
And I think that, like, everybody, a word of advice to anybody who's starting in the event space, I would say is, unless you have deep pockets or deep funding to provide some sort of draw that people will want to pay for, I would say 9 times out of 10, I would always suggest you make your first events free. And the payment is the ability to communicate with those people further,
Yes.
later. You know what I mean? Later down the road.
Access to them, access to
the
sell
access-
something to
Their
them.
Exactly,
email.
exactly.
Everybody's selling something. Whether you're a movie star, you're an artist, you're an athlete.
Yep.
Everybody's selling something.
Yep.
They have to learn that.
Yep.
Yeah, I love
so,
that.
yeah, that's what that was our huge strategy in the beginning. Yeah.
What's
So,
like
go ahead.
what's an event where you took a loss? Because you say you usually
How many you want to talk about?
well, what's one that made you almost be like, man, I don't want to do this anymore? Like you put up a huge amount, you didn't get what you thought, or maybe something fell through.
Yeah. I mean, every arena show that I've done, I'm gonna keep it so real. Like, every arena show that I've done, we've done probably 4 arena shows at this point. Every one of them has taken an L. We've lost money on them. I mean, there's been nights where, you know, I mean, I've see okay, this is what happens. It's like, and a bit of this is ego, a bit of this is like wanting to challenge yourself.
For sure.
But, you know, you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm selling 5,000 tickets in this market.
Yeah.
Okay, like, you know, I remember we did New York one time, and we did 3 nights at a 3,500 capacity venue. So I'm like, that's 10,000, like, plus. You know what I mean? Like, and we did it back to back to back to back in the dead of winter. So I'm like, all right, if we just, I'm not even, my goal is not to sell out the arena necessarily, but it's like, if I'm putting 10,000 people in this venue, if I put the same 10,000 people in this arena, it will still look good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and so I went for that leap, but it's like every one of those, you know, when I'm in a big concert hall at 3,500, my costs for that type of show is still expensive, but it's like when you jump to the arena, you're talking about like a 6x cost.
Really? So arenas are 6 times the cost.
I mean, yeah, if you're
Everything,
going,
security.
yeah, just everything, like the cost of the arena. Yeah, just all of the other and then one thing you got to remember when you're doing arenas is that, like, these are places that are built for sports and sporting events. So I'm having to bring in all my you know, production.
Sure.
Like, and it's not just the screens, it's the sound, lighting. You know, I'm having to hire a rigging company because we got to look at all the rigging points in the arena, and then we got to hang truss, and, you know, and then don't let it be a union venue. You know what I mean? And if it's a union, then you got extra fees, and you know what I mean. So yeah, I've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars on shows before. But see, the thing is, how I've been able to de-risk and protect my business is because, sure, that might have happened. And see, the problem is when I've done that like multiple times in a year, and that's where I've made that mistake.
The large appetite.
Yeah, I've tried to do, okay, I'm doing 4 arenas this year.
We just talked about that in the office. Remember I said the large appetite for us is the hardest part. When you like, how much can I chew today?
Yeah.
And then we don't think about that. Because we want to chew it all, but it's like, how much can I chew today? What am I built to have?
Exactly.
Yes.
And but a way to offset that is that, you know, I might have done 4 arenas in a year and all of them might have lost money, but I have 50 something other markets where I'm not doing that.
And
that will offset that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm doing it multiple times a year. So now it's like the new vision for what we're doing now is like we're doing one big arena show this year where, because it's our 10-year anniversary, we're going to do a R&B Only and Friends show later in the year, and we'll announce that and where that is later in the year. But we'll do one arena show, and we'll do like, you know, 1 to 6,000 capacity venues throughout the year, so that we're just really de-risking all of the shows. So that really the way I want it set up is that if 20%, 30% of the room is sold, that's when I'm, you know, in the black.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you feel about AI and like where that's gonna affect the event space? Because you know how people are even out meeting online. You got the Oculus, like you're really, you know, you can have a whole entire party with people from all over the globe without them leaving their living room. You know, like are you looking into that? Or
I'm absolutely looking into that. I've just thought, like, you know, how can you, back to automation, how can you automate different elements of this? Like, is that possible? But then I also realized though that while all that stuff exists, we as people, like, we still want to see people doing people things. Like, people still love to see real people playing sports against each other. People still, like, if you're into chess, like, there's still a world championship of chess.
Yes.
There's still that, like, people, you know, if you're into music, right? Like, there's a lot of music that can be automated and, you know, made with AI that sounds, it's very similar to like music that human, but there's no backstory. And I think that that's the thing that will keep human-centered things like at the front and center. Now we can use AI to help enhance the business, right? Like, I've started playing with using AI to help me make some of our visuals on our screens and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But it's like having an AI DJ or an AI host, you know what I mean? And just having somebody that, it's like, there's a reason that I have solely women DJs up there spinning at every R&B Only show, right? We only have women DJs at our shows. And it's because they connect with the audience in a different way. You know what I mean? Because our audience is 70% women. So it's like when you know, shout out to Tierra Monique, who's one of our DJs. But when I'm on stage with her and she's like, she'll say something in the middle of a record and she'll be like, yeah, ladies, you know, you got to do it like this sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like no AI can do that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
They know what we talking about.
Like, and it's like that. It's like they be like in the crowd
like,
snapping like that. First off, I can't even do that. You know what I mean? So like, that's why you need real people. So I think that like AI can help you with like your artwork, I even saw some AI like promo video that somebody did, and I was like, this is so dope. Like, because it was an event that like created a world in like AI. You could tell it was AI, but they were promoting a real life event. And I was like, see, now this is how you can use it. You know what I mean? To fuel our space.
Got you.
Love that. So DJ Khaled.
Shout out DJ Khaled.
Shout out to Khaled. When I see people like Khaled, to me, I always think like you can't hate the player, you gotta hate the game. Because Khaled could have easily been like any other DJ, but he put himself on the record. He made it. He made himself the brand and the asset, right? So when I think of you being a Khaled of R&B, or when you think of you being a Khaled of R&B, the first thing I'm thinking is you got to drop music. So it's like, what is in the cards for you in the R&B space over the next 5 years that you have planned, that you want to accomplish?
Yeah, absolutely. The first thing is dropping music. And the first record that I put out was an ode to Tony. And for our 10-year anniversary, we remade their classic Anniversary. And I want to just give a big, just for a moment, rest in peace to Dwayne Wiggins from Tony,
Yes.
who recently
Peace.
passed. We put this record out on Valentine's Day. And, you know, I got 6 artists together: Kenyon Dixon, Eric Bellinger, Kells, Dende, Jalen Josie, and Amanda Adams to collaborate on this a cappella rendition of Anniversary. Yeah. And I was like, you know, I want this to be my first record and like my first, you know, like
offering
in the R&B space, and I wanted to just go so left, right? Like I wanted to go like, I didn't want to just put out like
it
a
makes
regular
sense now.
song.
It's funny because Alex comes to me, he says, before you do the interview, you have to watch this. Mm-hmm. So I'm like intensely like looking, and I'm like, you know, like 2 minutes in, I'm like a minute in, I'm like, they just singing. And I'm like, they sound good, but when he was like, you have to. And I'm like, now it makes sense. Mm-hmm. That's a record you're releasing.
Yeah.
See, the way I saw it, I thought it was just getting some dope singers together to celebrate 10 years of R&B Only.
Yeah, no, that's
great,
all
great
DSPs.
example. Mm-hmm. But that makes sense. So do you think that that's the brand? Acapellas?
Oh, no, not at all. The next records that I drop are going to be more traditional records. But what I'm focused on, right, initially is solely samples, covers, and interpolations. And the reason that I'm focusing on that is because I'm a student, right? And I'm I remember when I was, you know, listening to Puff and Mace, and Puff was like, take hits from the 80s and make it sound so crazy. Yeah. And it's like, yo, if I already have this massive audience of millions of people that we reach every month that are fans of R&B, instead of me just saying like, okay, I'm going to do a song with this one artist and this one artist, I'm going to put artists together and I'm going to borrow and flip and interpolate music that you are already fans of. I have 10 years of data of seeing
interesting.
What
but it's brilliant, but I got to push back on you a little. Mm-hmm. To me, when I think about Khaled was smart, right? Yeah. Khaled usually did all his songs with someone from Florida. Yeah. Whether it was Ross, Trick Daddy, he went and got his own Ace Hood. So it almost became like, the rest of the country, how I interpret it as a music fan and someone in the industry was, Khaled was basically saying, this is what the fuck it is down here. Mm-hmm. And if you want to be a part of it, this is what the fuck it is. If you don't like it, then you don't want to be a part of this down here. And it makes it very easier. So I'm gonna say that to you is to say, when I think R&B Only, it's like I didn't put it, like after you put it together, I got goosebumps. Mm-hmm. If I see it without that, I'm like, okay, that's fire. But the reason why I got goosebumps was because I'm like, now that is actually really dope. R&B Only, take a group of R&B singers and have them a cappella a version of a song, right? So then it becomes like the R&B Only version, right? So now you have people like, do this Luther Vandross R&B Only version, right? Or do that. So then it becomes like these new masters. But to me, the superhero part of it, the Khaled part of it, right? You almost have to inverse what he did, right? Because Khaled came up, he was fucking with the big dogs, right? Yeah. That he had access to, of course. Yep. Then he got bigger and bigger. Once he get to Jay-Z and Beyonce, he's like, where do I go from here? I'm like, it's just, I made it to the top of the mountain. But the one thing he did was he went and got the big dogs and they helped him raise them up. But you, to me, you go get the champions. Mm-hmm. You go get the R&B champions who haven't gotten that look, or who might not be household names, but like can sing their ass off, and then have them get together. To me, and then it serves as two things. You do audio of it and you got a video of it, right? Yep. To me, that blows the fuck up faster than you trying to produce a song. You see what I'm saying? Like Lil Duval made that mistake to me, right? Let's because I'm in the music business. I study everything like you study everything, right? So I can't give advice on like the parties, but the music I can. So Lil Duval, he on his Instagram one day, I'm living my best life, ain't going back and forth with you niggas. That's all he said. It was just him with a snap, living my best life. And then Future said it, living my best life, ain't going back and forth with you niggas. They turned it into a song. Song goes platinum, right? Hit. Duval goes up. Now he's seeing himself as a real artist. So now that funny little nigga that had that funny song that we all loved is up there like trying to croon us now, singing R&B records. And it's like, nigga, it was a joke that we liked. Keep playing this joke. Keep playing jokes on us and making it the song, because now it feel like we push you there.
Yeah.
I was at the Beyonce concert when Lil Duval performed Living My Best Life with DJ Khaled. That was amazing. Everybody happy, was like, oh my, this nigga made it to the stage of Beyonce. Yeah. It's a big, but then he's like, I'm an artist now. Here's my next song. No, no. It's almost like, the one thing about R&B Only that I gotta say, if you go at home, and a lot of you have been, you don't feel like you're just sitting down to listen to music being played by a DJ. There's a dance floor. There's a nigga on a mic dancing. There's people walking around. There's a
show
LED screen.
element.
There's a show happening. So to me, it's like, fuck the music. It's your show. That's the superpower, is the show. So to me, it's like, why wouldn't you just say, you know what I'm gonna do? Now let me get 3 girls together and see how they would sound singing SWV week over, right? Just 3 girls that can sing their ass off and then make that the offering. So now they're getting promoted through your platform. You're promoting them through the platform. You could play it at your shows, and then it becomes like, when I hit acapella, I'm like, oh nigga, Jabari already did that. Y'all niggas biting Jabari. It becomes like your niche just for the first year or two to establish it. To me, that, like, if I was in your part of it, I'm like, let's establish this acapella thing, because now it becomes it's almost become like your version of Tiny Desk. Like what sing, like Avery Wilson in a room singing along with Money Long, and they're singing, and it's like real singers singing Luther Vandross and Tammy Terrell's "If This World Were Mine." Like like. Your version though, like the cooler version, bro. A year of that.
I mean, it's funny you say that, because like it's all happening. Yeah, I'm not stopping doing that. Yeah. I would just say we're doing a bunch of things. You know what I mean? So like they're still good, but I would say like the reason that I don't want to just get pigeonholed into just doing acapellas is like I'm trying to just build another asset catalog.
And I don't think anyone is pigeonholed in today's market.
You can
so
do
what
whatever.
I'm saying to you is I'm saying,
absolutely.
Look what you said. How you do one thing is how you do everything. We know that, right? You started off doing a hip hop only party, and then you incorporated some R&B into it. Yep. And now you realize, then you're like, you know what? Let's try to do an R&B only party, and then you get to this crossroad. You like colors, R&B only. Yeah. But the reason why was because, I'm being honest with you, colors, to the people that know what it is, that's a cool name. But if I'm a nigga in Atlanta that never been, and I'm in DC tonight, and they're like, we going to the colors party, I'm like, is that the gay party? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? No, but if somebody said we're going to the R&B only party, I'm like, oh, I know how to dress. I know what the audience looks like. I know what to expect. So for me, I'm not saying pigeonhole yourself, but I am saying the way you establish your brand as a promoter is the same way you have to establish your brand as an artist.
It's music,
And like, dog, let's be clear. Like, Khaled made the same songs 10 times. We taking over. It's the same exact record as All I Do Is Win. It's the same exact record as Welcome to My Hood. It's one nigga singing a loud hook that he was just thinking anthem and niggas rapping. That was the key. And for me, when I saw acapella, I'm a music guy. If I was running the label right now, I'll give you a deal to do that. Now, if you told me I want to make records, I'm like, now we're going into the zeitgeist where everybody's making records. Now we're competing against Usher. We're competing against Chris Brown. And that's when it becomes hard, because now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. This is not popular to say. I hope I don't get in trouble. But I think the Khaled model is old now. I don't know if it works anymore. I don't know if it works anymore of getting 4 people together to do a song, because what happens is the people are off doing so many things that no one's promoting the song. So the only person that's left to promote it is Khaled.
Yeah. I think it depends on the type of artist that you're getting as well.
Got you.
Right? When Khaled is going to get the biggest of the big artists, it is difficult to get
He's the
them
only
to
person
do
that can
stuff
do it.
because, you know what I mean? But I think that the space that I play in is, some stuff that I'm working on is with some pretty big household names. But as well, some stuff is not. You know what I mean?
I'm going to talk to you like I'm the CEO of a label.
Yeah.
And you pitching me. It's good to have big names, but if they're not gonna promote it,
Exactly.
you know what I'm going through.
I already
It's like
know.
paying
Yeah.
for features.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
nigga,
Yeah.
we fucked. We're not gonna get primary artists. There's a
Yeah,
lot of shit
yeah,
you're not gonna get. So that's why I was looking at it like. To me, I looked at it like it was the singer's room.
Yeah.
It's like no one can. If you can't come in here if you can't sit on this
sing.
couch
Yeah.
and add to a singing cipher, almost like the new version of a cipher.
Yeah,
That beat,
yeah.
bro. When I didn't, bro, I saw it. I ain't think nothing of it. I liked it. It was great. And then it was fire. That girl with the short hair,
Amanda Adams.
that
Yeah,
hit that
yeah.
note.
Yeah.
Oh my
man,
God,
crushed
destroyed it.
Yeah.
Right. But then I was like, oh, okay, cool, that's cool. Now let me go interview him. I didn't think. Now I'm looking at it through the lens. I'm like, oh boy, if you don't make that, and I'll being honest with you, you dropped the anniversary on Valentine's Day. Like imagine Mother's Day, you do Mama, you know, like you do Boys Man, or you do Tupac's Mama, whatever it is, and then Father's Day you do Luther Dance to My Father, and it's moments in time, but it's also renditions that we can all be like, woo.
Yep.
It's like right now, Kendrick's Not Like Us is viral again. It's not even viral for the song anymore.
Yeah.
It's viral for the Super Bowl scene. You really gonna do it? Like it's like
And the dance.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that's
step,
what it's about. It's moments that people can grab and say, okay.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, if I was a label head, I would give you a deal right now if you were just doing acapellas.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like, bro, like there was a group on RCA. They were probably the lamest group in the history. But they sold 5-6 million albums, Pentatonics.
I'm about to say
Yeah,
it has to
yeah,
be
yeah.
them because I love them.
Everybody loves them, but they sound like High School Musical. But they
Right.
sold real records.
Right.
It's because people like that. Bro.
No, they're actually a huge
We
inspiration.
can talk about something else.
Yeah.
We can talk about something else.
No, but Ray,
I'm telling you, bro, Jabari,
I appreciate it.
That is the key
Yep.
to how you spread it. Because people are gonna see it the way I saw it and not connect to it the way they're not gonna connect to it until they realize it's 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a thing. It becomes, I'm telling you, it's like Tiny Desk.
Yeah.
It's fire.
Yeah.
I get excited when I see shit like that.
I so appreciate it because it's like it was everything that you're saying. I'm going to add it, and it's just going to be complimentary.
Yes.
So I'm going to do more acapellas, but I'm also going to do the samples and the other records and the real records, and then after all that, and man, I got off camera.
Okay.
I'll tell you some other stuff. That I got going
So
on.
we have this segment called Broke Story.
Yeah. But I super appreciate it,
nah,
and I'm not one to like hear that information and be like, nah, I'm gonna double down. So you're gonna see,
Because it's riches and niches.
definitely.
And people don't get that. And they
Yep.
be so busy going for the top.
Yep.
Wrestling is exactly what it is. Wrestling. And when you enter the arena, I don't give a fuck who you are, you might get body slammed because it is wrestling.
Still wrestling.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yep,
Like it's been the same shit since I was a kid. It all still works. Sometimes we be so busy trying to reinvent the wheel, we lose the wheel and becomes a square. And I'm like, nigga, what you just showed me, what I just hear, please, nigga, you'll bring our R&B back.
Yeah.
So we have this segment called Broke Stories,
Yep.
where we take someone like yourself and we ask you to tell us a story when you was at one of your brokest moments, and what did you do to get out of it? What was your mentality in that moment? Because there are people watching this that are broke.
Yeah.
And we want to give them some motivation that they aren't alone in what they're feeling today, because we all have felt it.
Yeah.
But what you do after feeling it is what makes you the legend and
Separates
different than
you
every
from
other
the
human.
rest.
So can you give us a good broke story?
Yeah. I was $2 million in debt.
Ooh, wee.
Broke story. This is a rich broke story. Let's go though.
Escalated quickly.
I was probably 1.5 from the business, and the other was just loans and
Yes.
stuff like that. Personal, a mixture of credit card debts, personal loans, all to fund the business, all to fund the operation. And I had no idea how I was going to get out of it because maybe a year prior I had turned down the $1 million deal, and I couldn't figure out how to deal with the cash flow issue that the nature of the beast of my business has, right? And this was before I had the relationships that I have with, you know, big shout outs to the Live Nations and the AEGs of the world, and, you know, and all the independent venues that we work with across the country. But, you know, I had to kick out so much money, because if I'm doing a 30-city tour, I'm having to pay the venue rental fees for all 30 of those cities in advance. You know what I mean?
Trust me, I had to do it on tour. You got to send them deposits.
Yeah, deposits.
Them venues want their deposit.
Yep. And then I had to pay for all of the marketing up front. And then I had to pay for all of the travel up front. And, you know, it was just like, it was crazy. And so I was taking all these bad loans and all this type of stuff to just finance this stuff. And then, you know, don't let the shows not do well, and then you're not able to pay it back. And then I just saw the debt just sky. And it was moments where I honestly like cried myself to sleep. You know, I just didn't know there was no real light at the end of the tunnel for me. And I thought, you know, do I quit this? Do I, you know, just go back to trying to interview artists, or, you know, do I go back to the media thing? But I knew that I could build this into my own media company.
Yeah.
And I just knew there was something more. And, you know, I got with my team, and we really just started to invest in the sign up process.
Meaning?
And when I say that, I mean, like, there's a term that we use in marketing called lead generation. And
Lead generation. Okay.
Yep.
It's not trying to get someone to purchase immediately. It's like if I want to take a young lady out on a date, right? I'm going to ask for her number, you know, her
That's the first thing,
Instagram,
yeah.
as a, you know, whatever. But I'm not saying like, as soon as I meet you, let me take you out. And that's what lead generation is, right? It's like, it's having people sign up with their email or phone number before you're asking them to purchase a ticket from you. And it was that piece that I realized, if we can grow the list really, really big, we'll have a lot more people to sell to within the funnel.
Yes.
And that's what truly turned the business around.
Email marketing.
And that's how I started to get more data. I started to chunk away at the debt. And then, you know,
I
now
want to ask you something.
everybody's been paid.
This is random. This is random.
Yeah.
You familiar with Ace Metaphor?
Ace Metaphor, no.
Okay, cool. So I want to get your thoughts. So Ace Metaphor, he was on the show. He has this. You kind of got the same story, right? But it's just he built this brand called Tonight's Conversation, and they're selling thousands of tickets in every city.
Okay, yeah. I think I'm familiar.
It's a podcast, but instead of him putting on YouTube, he created an app. It's a game connected to it.
Okay.
And basically, I mean, literally,
he
spent. I mean, he got people that he was paying on his, like the people that was on the stage, he was paying them $14,000 an episode. Yeah, but he wound up falling out with a lot of people, because some of the people felt like the money he making more money, I need more money, blah blah blah. You know how this shit goes. Yeah. Instead of realizing that he created the asset and he did it. So I was only asking you, like, if you knew about him, like, are you concerned? Because, you know, he literally was on top of the world, and then all of a sudden, people are like, all the people that was his stars on his platform are like, everybody's doing interviews about him. Like, yeah, I left the show. And it was like, and by the way, he built an incredible business for him and everybody around. But, you know, his people, they don't see it like that. People didn't focus on that. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on, like, how you preventing that from happening. You had 10 people on staff, 60 contractors. Like how hard is it to run a business while making yourself rich, which you should be able to, but also having people understand that, yeah, we're all in the trenches. You guys all feet in the trenches, but my feet have been down for fucking 10 plus years. That's why I'm the richest guy here. Maybe you guys can do 10 years with me, and then who knows, right? But everybody was like, people just turn them. So I was just wondering, like, from your perspective, because I went to the show and you give the DJ and the host a lot of leeway to almost be the stars.
And I mean, that comes from me being the host.
Got you.
Right? For the first however many years, it was just like, I had to train the hosts. I had to even train the DJs, and I wouldn't even just say train, but it would just like develop the talent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and so that, but that's the front facing folks you see, but there's so many behind the scenes people. And I think the way that I really do that is, well, I think there's two ways. I think not having any co-founders or partners or anything like that, everybody kind of knows that, that the buck stops with me, essentially. And so like we wouldn't be here for everybody's hard work, but there's just no denying that I did put up all the capital.
That's what I'm saying. He did too.
I mean? Yeah.
And you know, it's still, that's why I was asking you, because there, even me having a company, having people, there's a fine line to wanting people to feel the best about themselves, but also understanding I am the boss.
Yeah.
Like I am, like, whether this shit, I tell everybody in my life, y'all live in a simulation. I live in the real world. Like, if it's a simulation, like when you fly in a plane, like that's how you learn how to fly a plane. I'm like, if you fly that plane and it crashes, you know for a fact you still come home, the house is still paid off, all the cars are paid off. So you know, it's a simulation. Meanwhile, if I fall, the entire castle crumbles. It's almost like better off if I die, because at least I got insurance and shit. But it's like, you know what I'm trying to say? But it's like, no, I'm being honest. Like when you think, like, by the way, these are conversations that you have to have with yourself as an entrepreneur, because it's not like working at a job where you know you're gonna get paid $100,000 a year. You're gonna put fucking 25 of that into your 401k. You know, you turn 60, you're gonna have $4.6 million. You know what I mean? It's not like different. That. It's like, nigga, I don't know. Like sometimes I feel like I'm in a never-ending cycle of life. Like, I'm sleeping, only to wake up tomorrow and work. Like, damn, what is my life? It's like, I don't even know what my life is anymore. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying. I mean, I think the other thing, though, is just like letting people know that they are valuable and properly compensating people, obviously. But then also with I think I also take a huge liking to my people and saying, well, what do you want to do? What are your goals? You know what I mean? What for the full-time folks, what are your goals within this company, and how do you want to grow here, right? And even if you want to leave here at some point, I want to help you get to the next phase. If you want to leave here. Luckily, in this, man, nobody's ever quit. I've never had any I've been in business 10 years, and it's just been growing, and I haven't had to deal with anybody quitting.
I wish I could say the same.
You're taking care of them.
No, it's not that. He lucky.
None of the full-time people. Let me say.
So?
No, I've had people come work with me, sit here, do work with me, and then we making noise. See, I'm in the music business, so we don't invest in structure. We invest in cool.
Yeah.
Because if you could create a cool brand, you build a structure around it. You have Rock Nation.
But he got health benefits.
I invested in the structure very early.
You can live longer going over there.
Yeah. What'd you say?
I said you can live longer going over there. He got the health benefits.
But I'm just being honest. So, I mean, you don't understand. I've had people like, man, we popping. My first guy was filming this show. Man, we popping. Man, I need more money than this. I'm like, bro, I got like 6,000 subscribers on YouTube, bro. Like the money I'm paying you, I'm in the hole.
You're in the hole for sure.
And he's like, yeah, man, but man, we need to get out the hole then. Like, I'm like, of course we do.
Yeah.
Yes. By the way, we're not in the hole. I'm in the hole.
Yeah.
We're in the hole while we're in the hole is why I can't pay you more. Because as soon as I get out of it, but it's it's people would rather go work for a company making $15 an hour and feel like at least I got a steady paycheck, and they don't know that there is a corporation, there is someone getting rich from your work. You just don't see him, and he don't want to see you. Or she don't want to see you. Meanwhile, watching me, you think I'm getting rich, but I'm getting rich from music. I'm not getting rich from this. I'm getting rich from music, and I'm taking that money and investing in this. That's how everybody getting paid. But then people like, nah, I feel like I'm not making enough money and da-da-da. And I'm like, what? I had a co-host leave because she literally left to go not make money for somebody else. Like, but in her mind, it was like, at least I'm not with you anymore.
But let me ask you this, right? Were you intentional about letting these people know that they were valuable?
Every fucking day.
Okay.
But I'm just like, that's why I said the balance of it all. Like, I'm naturally a seducer. Like, I walk in the room and I'm gonna say something nice to everybody. I mean, even if I don't know the room, I'm like, hey man, how you doing, man? Even if it's nice, how you doing, man? I hope you have a good day.
Yeah, you have that energy.
You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, I have that energy. So that's who I am, but sometimes it gets used against me when I'm like, you wanna do what? Why would you do that? Like, literally, I had somebody I was paying left mid-interview to go do a free interview for a bigger company.
Well, shout out to her because we're here today.
No. But here's what I'm saying though. But my point is that I think if you looked at it, you're looking at it through the lens of like, one feels sexier and safer but you will always be employee 147. You know what I'm trying to say? Compared to here, you employee 2.
Yeah.
Because I'm starting this with you. So it's like the bigger this get, the bigger you get, the more everybody gets.
Yeah.
People don't look at it like that. They want to get paid. They want to get, I want to check. And I did. So I'm asking you because I'm like, damn, man, this guy's doing really good. I have no problems. By the way, knock on something that you don't.
Well, that's not to say that there's no problem. Absolutely no
Got
problems,
you.
right? There's some pop-ups and stuff that happens. And, you know, I have a great, you know, number 2 in Sonia. Shout out to Sonia, where she really has helped me a lot in this process. And she's become, you know, her own director, and she manages so many different people and so many different. She's the operations director at the company. And, you know, it's always those people, man, who like
get it right.
They don't get, she's not famous.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who she is. Like, everybody who works with us knows who she is.
Yeah.
But you know, the public doesn't know who she is. And, you know, I think having somebody like her has been really helpful for me to be able to like steer clear of some of those fires.
I'm gonna put you on the spot now before we get to the God question. I just like, I feel like if you were talking to R&B only, I should be able to ask you some R&B questions.
Of course, yeah.
Who do you feel?
I gotta push this call back.
Go ahead.
We having a.
Okay,
go ahead.
sure.
I'm listening. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Uh-huh.
Give me R&B party, trying to get it started. Give me the 5 songs that will get any R&B party started. But here's the catch. You can't say Tevin Campbell, Can We Talk?
Okay.
It's like, that's always the easy go-to. It's like, give me 5 songs that you feel like that if you play on a party, it's like, that's the, go to the songs. Get the. And then I got another question for you. And then I want you to give me 5 surprise songs where you like, damn, they like that.
Okay. I got you. Well, I always want to. We always call our show a show.
Yep.
We never want to call it a party.
Oh, okay, so the show.
So guaranteed. It's so funny because the segment I was doing before had a few of those. Shout out to Chastity. All right, so you already know where we're going. Keisha Cole, Love, hands down.
Wow.
Going to,
like you put that on Keisha Cole, Love.
I mean, it's gonna just explode a roof.
Okay, give me 4 more.
All right. We've got, and I'm gonna give you all ranges too.
For sure.
Man. Bryson Tiller, Exchange. Like,
I like that one.
you would be. I mean, it's a new classic. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, we have our age range is literally from like 18 to 60. So, all right, let's keep it going.
That's 2.
Usher, Superstar. Like those runs that, I mean, when you hear the
yes.
yeah,
They gonna get
Usher
into
and
it.
Ryan Toby. Ryan Toby did that.
Oh, dope.
he
Yeah, I
wrote-
know
he did
Ryan.
the ad-lib, Yep. 2 more.
Let's see, 2 more. We are going to go. You know what? And again, I'm just talking about reaction.
Yes.
Right? So
your research.
Yeah,
I know what I like,
yeah.
but your research.
And the reason I'm gonna say this is because, like, this is gospel, but like that.
Ooh, I love it.
Brighter Day. You know, it's
Brighter Day.
Okay.
brighter day, brighter day, brighter day.
I don't know that song.
What's that? It's like that might need the song might not be called Brighter Day, but yeah, that joint.
I didn't grow up in church.
Yeah, I never knew.
Sorry, I'm gonna listen as soon as it's over. I'll got
Okay,
y'all.
yeah.
That'll be a
Right,
song
it's
that I
gonna
heard
be
y'all in your show, and I was Shazam it like.
Yeah.
So that's 4.
Okay. Let's see here. That's just gonna like really like explode the place. Oh man, like when people Chris
Y'all be
Brown.
playing? I'm sorry. Y'all be playing R. Kelly?
No, we don't, and that's a whole nother
That's what
story.
I'm saying. Don't do
Okay.
that. Don't
Yeah,
break.
please.
That's not adding.
That's a
I'm
whole
like,
nother
I'm just
story.
wondering because I'm
That's
like,
a whole nother story. Chris Brown, Say Goodbye.
oh yeah.
really?
Well, that's a good
another
outro.
one. Yeah. I'm kind of.
That to me, that would be a shocker to me if I heard Chris Brown say goodbye.
Yeah, Chris
That's
Brown Say Goodbye is like people sing every word bar for bar, like they're crying. Like
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like crazy.
Okay, that's 5. Now give me 5 surprises to
Okay.
you where you was like, holy shit, they like that too? Or it's big?
Or like I'm surprised that it's so big.
Like for me, I'll give you one. Fantasia, When I See You.
That was what I was gonna say.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's like that's
like
I'm not surprised
that's
anymore, but like
it's
it's like because I'm so deeply embedded in the space and in the culture, I'm not surprised anymore. But I'm just saying, like, it's like when I was younger and that record was actually out, that wouldn't be a record that I thought that was going to stand the test of time,
yes.
like it did.
Yes,
You
that's
know
what I mean.
I'm
But
saying?
like, so to me, that's a record where it's like, I had white kids in this group signed to me. They played this song for me. It's like, Ray, you don't know about this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know Fantasia, my nigga. That's the homie. Like I watched the Win American Idol. I watched the audition on American Idol for the first time.
Crazy, yeah.
So Fantasia, I'll give you that. That's one. So Fantasia, When I See You. 4 more sleepers where you like, man.
Sleepers. Okay. Let's go. That just have the reaction. I think, and again, this is something that people don't like play. You don't hear it everywhere, but Jagged Edge Promise.
The remix or
No. Promise don't have a remix. You talking about?
No, Promise does. Promise has the best remix Jagged Edge ever did to me. It's 2 versions of Promise. It's Promise with Baby I Promise, and then it's the LL Cool J version with Loon on it.
Oh my gosh! Wow. No. The original.
Okay,
The
cool.
original.
I'm saying because the one with Loon on it, that's
Right.
my
Wow.
shit. The I Need Love beat.
Yeah. You're right. Okay. So
Jagged
I would
Edge
say
Promise.
J.E.
That's crazy. Jagged Edge Promise.
I would say, oh my gosh, there's just so many songs. But again, it's like things that, Jasmine Sullivan and Ari Lennox On It.
Oh, okay.
Insane.
Girls go crazy for it.
I've seen the most debauchery like to that song. Like I'm
that.
talking about craziness going on. So we shout out to Tierra Monique again. We kind of have this like thing that we do on stage where we play records and we always say like this is body roll music.
Yes.
And Kelly Rowland and Lil Wayne Motivation.
That definitely did.
What that does to a woman's body.
Rico killed that shit. Shout out to Rico. Yes. The gyrate,
Thinking about
yes.
it, you know? Hey.
Shout out to
It's something
Kelly,
about
man.
that. Go. Yeah.
Rico killed that shit. I gotta give him that.
Crazy.
So how many is that? 4?
I think we're at 4.
So give me one more.
And I'm trying to get another sleeper. Okay. It's not. It's not like.
Is your definition?
Yeah. Okay. So. I'm trying to think like artist first. So maybe
A Luther record, a Stevie record.
I just want to consider like those sleepers. You know what I'm saying? Like those are just those are just like bangers. With those artists, but I you know what I would say is probably lastly I'll go like Flowetry Say Yes. Like I think that again it's I go to like those sensual songs that put people in a certain like what we call it in our show is the freak hours.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I've just seen. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I have so many people. Like I've had people come up to me and send me messages and emails and DMs. Like I have a kid because of your event. You know what I mean? I came to your show and like
We left and made a baby.
Yes,
They got it popping and talking.
I got on a whole Zoom call with the young lady about
What?
this. You know what I mean? Before,
Wow.
and she just like explained the whole story of, and it was just like.
That should be a series.
Yeah, I'm sure if we put it out there, there's gonna be at least 100. At least.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the
That's a
fifth
good
one.
start.
Oh, I thought that was it.
What
Yeah.
was it?
Yes, yeah,
Flowetry
Flowetry Say Yes, yeah.
Oh, yes. See, as soon as you said that, I went to Jazzy Fade, Jody Breeze, Stay Fresh. All a player do is stay fresh. What?
Yeah. They interpolated it.
Yeah. That's why I went.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
literally, I called Jazzy about that record. I'm like, Jazzy needs to have a whole series of records that he do remaking dope R&B records, but like making it masculine, like Stay Fresh and Say Yes. He did it with Lil Wayne and the Al Green beat. What's it called again? Earthquake. So like it's just way more fly than you. Like Jazzy singing the hook. Smooth as fuck. You know what I'm saying? But all right, so we have the segment we call two more things. We got a segment called Credit Check. We hate at the God Show. We hate flowers.
Okay.
Everybody say, get that man his flowers.
Flowers.
I don't want no flowers. Give me my motherfucking credit. I can leverage my credit. I can't leverage no flowers.
I like that.
Right? So we asked someone like yourself to give a shout out to 2 to 3 unsung heroes in the Jabari the Mastermind career.
Well, I already gave one to Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
I have to, I would be remiss if I didn't give that to her. So is it, let me add to that list.
Yeah, just do whatever you want.
Okay, I'll give one to, I got to shout out my big homie, Dumi Obaroda, who's a big executive at Sony, but he's done so many stuff in the music industry. He is, I would, if you know, like, he's from London. He managed Tiny Tempa, who is a very popular British rapper who I used to work with. I mean, he's still my brother. I still do stuff with him all the time. But both of them, I'm going to combine them because they gave me my first opportunity to direct a feature-length tour documentary. And I actually quit Capitol Records because Capitol wouldn't send me over to the UK to do. Tiny was he was the first British rapper to sell out an arena tour in the UK. And they wanted me to record it. And the label wouldn't pay for it because I was going to be gone from my post in New York for over a month. Yeah. But Tiny and Doomy paid for it. And then I went over there, and to be honest, and I tell them this often, but that was really where my first inspiration to build R&B Only came, because I got to see an arena tour like from the ground. Yes. You know what I mean? I was like in rehearsals. I remember the first day I'm with the camera, and we were in a rehearsal space for the tour, and like a pyrotechnic went off like under my foot, and I almost got burned. And I was like, like this is real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like this is crazy. But it showed me the level of production that you could have. For sure. And yeah, you know, so they like brought me out there, and I saw the entire UK with them, and from an arena level. You know what I mean? So it was like doing shows between 10 and 20,000 people. J. Cole opened up that whole tour for us. Yeah. And so like that was like
your face telling it all.
Yeah, life-changing. Man. I saw the world. I saw touring at a high level, and those are still my brothers to this day, and we got a lot more work to do. So I would say them. Let's see, other people in the space, man. Who
somebody just
it don't have to be the space.
It could be
affected your life.
I want to ask you a question. What is your sign and what's your mom's sign?
Yeah, so I am on the cusp of Aquarius and
Pisces?
No.
Oh, Capricorn.
Aquarius and Capricorn.
Hey.
Yeah. So I'm the end of the January 20th. That's my birthday. And then my mom is May 11th. So what is that?
She's Aries. No, not an Aries.
Is she Taurus?
Yeah, Taurus. Yep, Taurus.
Okay. So her and my daughter is the same thing.
My daughter's a Taurus too.
Word, yeah.
She got you fucked up, don't you? That's
the boss. Running me ragged.
Bruh, don't care about. You can't change her mind.
Straight up, man.
My 7-year-old, you cannot tell her nothing.
Wow, my daughter's almost 2, and she be tearing me and her mom up.
Today she came to see me for school. My daughter is my wake up clock Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
She wakes me up every day at 7:25 a.m. because school is 7:40. She got to leave, so she wakes me up to give me a kiss every morning.
Yep.
Today she came in at 8:30. So I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And her mother was like, I'm trying something different. And then she came in and she was smiling. Hey, Daddy, how you doing? I'm like, why are you so happy? She said, Mom gave me a couple minutes of sleep. I needed that. And I'm like,
7 years old.
Okay, so let's put the couple minutes in the front now, so that way you could get it. But like, dog, it's hard. So anyway, the third person, who's the last person you want to give credit to?
Yeah. My last person, I'm gonna give credit to. Honestly, man, I have to say my mom.
Please.
You know, I have to, because my mom, she gave me this like this. It's very important, I think, especially now that I'm a parent.
Please talk about it.
It's support without judgment. You know, like that. My mom doesn't know a lick about the music industry. You don't know a damn thing.
She can project her fears on you. Nothing.
You know, and she was just like, if this is what you want to do, go. I'm in support of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, you know, she had to put some guardrails in place. Like the DJ who I was talking about, shout out my man DJ Steph Floss, she had to meet him before she was just gonna allow her son to just be running around in all types of clubs. And, you know, but once she did that, she said, oh, he's a nice young man. He's, you know, got his head on his shoulders. He's in college. You know, and so it's like my mom always knew what I was doing. I was going all over Ohio, like with my group. You know what I mean? We were opening up for Diddy's The Band.
Yeah.
You know, like
back in
the day. Yeah. And we were you know, doing talent shows all over the city. But she just was and to this very day, you know, she's just like always in support. She may not understand like every single thing, but you know, recently I did a big show in Atlanta a few years back, and we had this is one where it wasn't just our DJs, and we had artists performing with us, and we had Erykah Badu headline this show. And I will never. My mom grew up just running Baduism into the ground, and like to the point where, you know, back then, like my mom had her favorite albums on display. Yeah, the CDs. You know what I mean? Because even the art direction for CDs at that time was incredible. So I remember that Baduism where Erykah Badu had the head wrap on. Yeah, and it was just like a piece of art. And every day I walked home from school, like I would come in and I'll be listening to Jay-Z and Eminem in my headphones, but I would see that album. And so when I finally was able to produce a show that, you know, Miss Erykah Badu performed at, I made sure my mom came to that show. Yeah. And she was front row, got to see her and all that. So that's when everything kind of came full circle.
Yeah, full circle.
You know
I love that. So, man, I could talk to you all day, bro. I just love talking to winners. But I'm going to ask the last question. I have to. This is called The GAUDS Show. The GAUDS Show. The GAUDS Show is an acronym for the word GOATs and underdogs. So that's why I said goat and underdog, right? Right. You know, goat and underdog on the floor. Yep. But my question to you is, do you consider yourself a goat or do you consider yourself an underdog? If you do see yourself as an underdog, what goals do you personally have to accomplish for you to say, you know what, Ray, I'm a goat now?
Man, Ray, your questions are incredible, man.
Thank you, bro.
I definitely consider myself an underdog. Okay. And what I would have to do to consider myself a GOAT is to help this next generation a lot more. And when I say that, I mean like, especially like young black and brown men. I think there's a lot of programs and stuff that is, you know, like women are kicking our ass right now. Yes. And it's about time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's due time because like y'all have been sort of like X'd out of the conversation for measures beyond y'all's control. Man, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But also what's happened is I don't think we've fed into, and I'm like, I feel like I'm like unk status right now. I'm not the young guy anymore, but I can't, for the longest time, I was always the youngest guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? But now that I look at the generation who's coming up behind me, there's not a lot of direction and there's not a lot of support. Agreed. You know what I mean?
It's like they don't matter. Yeah. There's no one talking to them. Exactly. That's been my goal. Everything I'm doing is like teaching men that.
And I love that about what you're doing. And you've actually, and what I love about what you're doing is, I'm sure, I don't know what you're doing on the behind the scenes, but I'm sure you have young people that you mentor and stuff like that. But what I love about your media platform is that it's a one-to-many. It's not just a one-to-one. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that like, I want people like us, our peers, to come together.
You have to.
And figure out some way to influence this young
empower,
generation and empower. Yeah,
because they don't feel empowered. They grow up looking at their phone. They don't even know how to talk to each other.
Yeah,
like I have kids come in, and I talk to them, and it's like I gotta say. And by the way, it's 7:00 p.m. Y'all should be turned up. Like y'all out of school, and they just like, "Hi, I'm such." I'm like, talk. Like it's crazy how we don't see that.
Yeah.
But my thing I'm gonna tell you is that we made a rule about maybe like when Chastity came here. That we're not allowing anyone to sit on this couch if they haven't achieved GOAT status through the eyes of us. You are a GOAT, bro. The fact that you, like, let me tell you something. I know a lot of people. My best friend just walked in here. He ain't never sold 700,000 tickets to anything. And sometimes you got to take those moments and really embrace and breathe that in, because I referenced you on this show and didn't know I was talking about you. When I did the interview with Chris Latt and Mark Barnes, and remember I said,
"Oh, wow!"
And I said, I didn't mention you. I remember I said to him, I said, R&B is in a real. I saw a guy who just sold out 3,500 people at an R&B concert in I think like DC somewhere, and I was like, there is a safe place that R&B provides our people.
Definitely.
And we need more places, because R&B is the cornerstone of Black love. Yes. It's the cornerstone of our Black stories. It's the cornerstone of where we were. When you go listen to Marvin Gaye, what's going on, and then you listen to it today through the lens of today, it's still the same shit, right? So for me, bro, like, we celebrate you and we call you a GOAT. So we're gonna give you a round of applause.
Thank you.
Bro, what you did, there aren't too many people who I want to meet. This conversation, I'm glad that we recorded, but this is for me. Like, I really admire what you've built. As a builder myself that know how hard it is, know how, like, the fact that you still got all your teeth and you're smiling right now says, because it's really a hard task to do. I wrote something on Twitter. I said, the hardest experience any human will ever have is when they have to choose to believe in themselves. Because once you choose to believe in yourself, you just made a one-sided deal with yourself. Yeah. And now you have to show up for you. And that's when the belief has to show up. Yeah. When ain't nobody when you doing the show and there's 3 people there and you still performing like, I believe in myself. Like, I believe in what I'm doing. I believe it's important. So that drive enough keeps me going. But like, it's just, I just respect you, bro. Like, the fact that you jumped off the porch, the fact that you did it with yourself, you did it all your own, and it's obviously worth more than $5 million because you had somebody try to give you a 20%, and you still seem happy, which means probably
that was a long time ago.
Life is good.
Yeah, Eventbrite had made them top 25.
Oh yeah, shout out to Eventbrite, man. They put us as one of the top 25 creators on the platform.
Wow, that's fire, man. Yeah. Well, I could talk to you all day, but we got to let him go. He got business to handle. Man, everybody making it. I'm going to call him Jabari the Mastermind. No one calls him that. I made that name up because I think that that's what he should be called. So let's make some noise for Jabari the Mastermind.
Appreciate you guys, man.
Hey, bro,
thank you guys so much.
What you've done, incredible.
Thank you.
I just want to tell you, as a Black man, I'm so proud to know you. I was at the event. Yeah. Incredible, bro.
Man, well, trust me, we got a lot more stuff to do.
We will, my nigga. We gonna take this the GAUDS show. We are out. Let's go.
Yes.